We would like to inform all board meeting attendees that this meeting is being live streamed and archived for access at any time by our community members on the internet within 24 to 48 hours of the meeting's conclusion. And Mr. McCauley, the Pledge of Allegiance, if you would please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Bankivsky.
Here.
Mr. Kleisner.
Here.
Mr. Cook.
Here.
Dr. Lawler.
Here.
Mr. McCauley.
Here.
Mrs. Simmons. Here. Mr. Stalka.
Here.
With 7 members present, we have a quorum. Is there anything the board would like to move from consent to new business? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
So moved. Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Kleisner.
Aye.
Mrs. Simmons. Aye. Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
Dr. Lawler.
Aye.
Mr. Stalka.
Aye.
Mr. Bankivsky.
Aye. Motion carries 7-0. The agenda is approved. It is now time for board/superintendent selects. I'll turn it over to Dr. Rowling.
Yes, so it's, I guess maybe a little coincidence that this evening we will be recognizing our maintenance workers. March 6th was Maintenance Worker Appreciation Day. This is part of the group, and Mr. Payton's going to introduce them in a minute, but when we call off school, whether it's for today or whether it's for cold, this group still shows up. And so they're the group that is, they keep things moving. And I'm super proud of them. They've kept that, especially the high school, all together with duct tape, baling wire, and chewing gum, I think. But it still works every day. So I'll have Mr. Payton introduce the group and talk a little bit about his team.
I'll do some quick introductions. This is Mike Rogers. He handles all of our HVAC. And he wanted to do some karaoke tonight, but I told him it's not on the agenda, so we can't do that. Bob Mance does an excellent job taking care of all of our athletic fields, as does Mark Raworth. Mark is also one of our skilled maintenance staff, so he knows everything, and he's been here a really long time. And Bryce down there at the end is a new member of our team, but really excelling already. So I just wanted to say briefly, first, thank you to Jackie and Kurt for suggesting this today. This recognition, or this team, generally shies away from the spotlight, but they're genuinely deserving of praise. Because of their hard work and dedication, Kaneland students are able to learn in a safe, clean, and comfortable environment. These folks are solving problems every day, often before anyone knows the problem exists. Their ability to work together is incredible and a testament to their character. They work in the heat of the summer, the cold of the winter, all to ensure the athletes can compete, the students can learn, and the staff can be as effective as possible. They work 12 months a year and often on evenings, weekends, and holidays when the needs arise. I could not be more grateful to work with such a tremendous group of people. Thank you guys for everything you do. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Second, we have Ms. Eggleston is going to come up and recognize our social workers.
I hope they're all watching tonight because they are not here with me tonight, but I do want to take this opportunity to recognize our social workers. I'm going to mention them first, and then I'll have a little bit to say. So at John Shields Elementary is Nicole Pryor. At McDowell Elementary, Brett Lopez and Abby Workman. At Blackberry Creek, we have Vicki Moeller and Shauna Hoekstra. And at John Stewart Elementary, we have Catherine Gabrielson. And Harder Middle School, we have Stacy Carriger, Wendy Peck, and split between the middle school and the high school is Amber Citro. And at our high school is Emily Skonexany. I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, and Callista Sarabia, sorry. So I would like to, I hope they're all watching tonight, to our incredible social workers. Thank you for your compassion, your expertise, and dedication you bring to our students and family every day. Your work supporting our students' social emotional needs, guiding them through challenges, and helping them build the skills they need to succeed does not go unnoticed. You play a vital role in creating safe, supportive learning environments and in strengthening the connection between school, home, and community. Our students are better because of the care and commitment you show each day. We are grateful for all that you do.
That's all I have.
All right, Dr. Bogan? Members of the board? All right, the board appreciates everyone in attendance this evening and invites you to stay as we move into the new business portion of the meeting. We understand that not everyone is able to stay for the entire meeting, and we wanted to make sure you know that this is an open meeting so you are able to come and go as you need. And we look forward to seeing you at future meetings.
That means if you guys want to go.
Yeah. If you want,
A lot of great stuff to talk about.
it's going to be interesting.
Go get some rest.
All right, thank you very much, guys.
Thank you. Tonight's consent agenda that contains the following information. Number one, approval of parameters and accounts for accounts payable and payroll for March 2026. Approval of the treasurer's report for February 2026. 3, approval of the minutes of the February 23rd regular meeting. 4, approval of personnel. 5, approval of destruction of audio recordings from closed session meetings from September 2024. 6, approval of the 2026-2027 IHSA membership. 7, approval of the 2026-2027 IESA membership for Harder Middle School. 8, approval of special education transportation, 1-year contract extension. 9, approval of the Board of Education student art purchase for the 2025-2026 school year. 10, approval of the joint agreement with Fox Valley Career Center. 11, approval of the Mid-Valley Classroom Use Agreement for 2026-2027. And informational items. Freedom of Information Act request report and student suspension data report. I will now entertain a motion to approve the consent items listed.
So moved. Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mrs. Simmons.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
Dr. Lawler.
Aye.
Mr. Stalka.
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Aye.
Mr. Kleisner.
Aye. Motion carries 7-0. The consent agenda is approved. Public comment. We use the public comment section as an opportunity to listen to our stakeholders. The board does not engage in debate.
Except for tonight, we wouldn't.
One night only.
We suspend the rules for this evening.
Second round, Sean.
They're on their way.
I'd like to remind everyone to state your name and village of residence for the record. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes or less. I'll cut it off there.
Go Knights.
Yeah, go Knights. Committee updates. It's now time to hear an update from our committee meetings that met this evening. Finance and facility.
Yeah, we met and reviewed the budget and income and Couple of highlights is, one, there's about $1.3 million coming, of which 668,000 we've received, and there's another 668 that's pending on the state website that will help. Jackie's been tracking those, so appreciate her looking into that. And currently, we're about 90% of our income received for the year, and at approximately 68% of expenditures. Our insurance, we should have some final percentages late March, April for what that will do for our budgets moving forward. And then construction, we talked about that. Currently, we've sold bonds, if you remember, $23 million or so, and we're looking at another sale this coming summer for approximately $90 million thereabouts. And then the last group of sale would be the following year. So.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Stalka. Community engagement.
We're still working on the alumni and honorary alumni program, almost done. Kind of wrapped up a lot of the last details today. We'll get the notes together and then do a little more investigating, but we'll have something to present to the board at coming soon.
Okay. Education.
So we had two topics tonight. The first one was the Kaneland handbook. So we went through some of the ISB required ones. We got through those, and then some of the more elective ones that we do. Most of the stuff is just kind of cleaning up some language. There's a handful of things about like dress code policy, and I was surprised to find out that we need to do a more PDA policy for the middle school. That's odd to me, but that was the handbook piece, and then Laura Garland and Fran and Nicole talked about the MTSS program, Tier 1 interventions, our gifted programs, and looking at how we use enrichment at all levels, so pre-K through high school, and how we can increase those programs and continue to serve our students when they are at that level. We do a really great job of the remediation stuff, so we're looking at the enrichment stuff.
Yeah. All right. On to new business. The first item of new business is a public hearing and approval of driver's education fee. As a reminder, I will open the public hearing and we will hear an overview from Dr. Bogan. I will then ask for public comments. Afterward, the public hearing will close and the board members will have an opportunity to discuss. It is now 7:13 and I'm calling the public hearing on the driver's education fee to order. Dr. Bogan, if you'd please provide us with more information.
Yes, so under Illinois law, school districts can charge up to $50 for driver's education, excuse me, unless the board adopts a resolution following a public hearing to allow for higher fees, not to exceed $250. Kaneland historically has maintained the $250 fee for this process. I do just want to give some updates. So during the 2024-2025 school year, the program generated approximately $62,000 in revenue from student fees and state reimbursement. Total expenditures for the program, however, were $367,000. So it results in a net district cost of roughly $305,000. So the majority of the cost of the program is borne by the district. The $250 per student does help to offset that slightly. I did also go back, not just look at historically what the district has done, but also what the rest of Kane County is doing. And I would say the majority of our surrounding districts are charging the same fee, the $250. There are a couple of exceptions. East Aurora 131, they have zero charge for their driver's education program because it is 100% reimbursed by the state. On the other end, excuse me, of the spectrum, Geneva and St. Charles, they have also not only adopted a board resolution, but they have also sought a waiver from the state, and so they are charging substantially higher at $500 and $600 for that program, respectively. And so I do also just want to remind the board that any student who qualifies under the National Free and Reduced Lunch Program, their fee is waived or reduced accordingly for that status. So, you know, we believe, and we're recommending tonight to continue with the $250 fee. It doesn't cover the cost of the program, but it also has been consistent for many years and does help offset it. So we're not looking to raise that this time.
All right. At this time, we will invite the public to make any comments on the driver's education fees, keeping in mind the guidelines stated earlier in the meeting. Any member of the public wish to make a comment? Right, hearing no comments, I will close the public hearing at 7:16. We'll now open the discussion among the board members for the approval of the driver's education fees for the 2026-2027 school year.
Yeah, I was just thinking about it. I know we have to get a waiver from the state, but just increasing it with inflation, as costs go up with inflation, I feel like the price should go up as well. But no one else.
I thought it could not exceed $250.
So it cannot exceed $250 with just a board resolution. We would need to seek a waiver to increase it above the $250.
But 250, I mean, it's a service to the people, so I think it's a good deal to cut.
I mean, private driver's ed, I don't know, probably 5-6 times.
It is substantially higher.
Substantially
Yeah.
higher. All right, any other discussion? All right,
Do you have a number in mind to increase to, or you're just thinking out loud?
Well, just the percentages. We would just look historically. Since we started charging $250, what is our costs been inflating up to versus what we would charge? So just proportionally the same,
Okay.
but something thrown out there.
all right, I will now entertain a motion that the Board of Education approves the attached resolution to maintain the 2026-2027 driver's education fee for Kaneland High School at $250 as presented.
So moved. Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. McCauley?
Aye.
Dr. Lawler?
Aye.
Mr. Cook?
Aye.
Mr. Stolka?
Aye.
Mr. Kleisner?
Aye.
Mrs. Simmons?
Aye.
Mr. Mankowski?
Aye. Motion carries 7-0. The driver's education fee for Kaneland High School is approved at $250. The second item of new business is the approval of playground surfacing. Dr. Bogan, if you'd please provide more information.
Yes. Did you want to come up for this one or no? I'm going to invite Mr. Payton to the podium just in case I miss anything or he'd like to add. But so this next item, excuse me, on the agenda is the approval of playground surfacing proposals at 2 out of the 4 elementary schools for the coming year, the coming summer. As you may recall, we did have a discussion about this in February, and it's part of a multi-year effort to replace the aging playground surfaces at all 4 elementary schools, with the idea that this project will help improve safety and accessibility for all students. We do have this broken up into 2 phases. So summer of 2026, we will complete the surfacing replacement at Kaneland John Stewart and Kaneland John Shields. And then the second phase will occur in the summer of 2027 when Blackberry Creek and Kaneland McDowell, their playground surfaces will be replaced. The estimated project cost total all in is $927,000. Approximately $226,000 for John Stewart, $275,000 for John Shields, $233,000 for Blackberry Creek, and $194,000 for McDowell. These project costs do include the all-in with the additional stonework included in that price. These proposals are from the Forever Lawn Chicago company, and it does include installation, the playground grass surfacing itself, as well as the safety padding, also independent fall height testing to ensure playgrounds meet current safety standards. And then we had talked a little bit of just of the financing of this project. This is being funded through local dollars, so through our regular capital improvement annual budget. One of the things that Mrs. Eggleston was able to help us with is that a portion of the playground surfacing is going to be funded through the IDEA grant, so approximately $57,000 from the current year, the FY26 IDEA flow-through grant will be used for the initial project deposits on this. This really is a huge investment just for overall safety and accessibility for students. And it's lining up very well with the playground replacements that we have as part of the referendum. And so tonight we are recommending that the playground surfacing proposals are approved so that we can move forward with these projects.
Dr. Bowman, just a quick reminder, the costs are locked in for the 2027 year as well?
Correct.
Correct. That's
Yep.
fine. And then how did we determine which ones went first?
Yep. So I think the idea was the two that went first, John Stewart and John Shields, their playgrounds are defined. They already have concrete curbing. They already have sort of like this is the playground area. And so they were known areas. Both McDowell and Blackberry Creek are much more wide open spaces. And so there's still a little bit of room where we could decide, you know what, we're going to expand the playground area, or we're going to do something a little bit different. So I think the idea was, let's do the ones that have already the pre-marked, the curbing, everything in place for that installation, versus trying to get to other schools to sort of lock in the summer and say, okay, we're defining the playground space now, and not that, we are going to have to do that next summer, but I think it gives them a little bit more time to think about, what, if anything else, do they see sort of in the future for those areas, and what maybe some of the surrounding area from the playground might be used for in other areas.
What is the material again that they're going to put on the playground? What is can it get washed away? Is there drainage? I mean,
It's similar to turf like on a athletic field, but it doesn't have like that crumb rubber fill in it like you would have on an athletic field. So
it's like
it's like a artificial grass,
Oh, okay.
basically, with a safety padding underneath.
oh, okay. So it's got the little rubber seeds or whatever you want to call them.
It does not.
No
it
fill,
doesn't.
no fill.
Oh, okay, so there's none. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what is the longevity of this? Like, are we coming back in 10 years and redoing this, or what does it look like cost-wise?
It's going to be real similar to an athletic field in that how much traffic and use does it get. One of the nice things about this versus poured-in-place surface is my staff will be able to get trained and learn how to repair it. That makes it a really nice product versus that spongy rubber stuff where you've got to call a contractor in every time. And then the engineered wood fiber, it just takes constant replenishment, constant raking, things like that. So it really cuts down on maintenance from that standpoint, as well as like on a crummy rainy day, as soon as it stops raining, the kids can be out there playing. To your point about the drainage, where that engineered wood fiber just gets muddy and mucky. And then there's the benefit of the accessibility for the students with maybe mobility challenges and stuff. It's a lot friendlier to those kids as well.
Good.
Any further discussion? Right, I will entertain a motion that the Board of Education approve the playground surfacing proposal from Forever Lawn Chicago for John Stewart, John Shields, Blackberry Creek, and McDowell Elementary Schools, and authorize the district to proceed with the payment schedule as presented.
So moved. Second.
And a roll call, please.
Dr. Lawler.
Aye.
Mr. Stahlcup.
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Aye.
Mr. Kleisner.
Aye.
Mrs. Simmons.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. The playground resurfacing proposals are approved. The third item of new business is the approval of resolution authorizing notice of non-renewal and dismissal of probationary teacher. Dr. Rowling, if you'd please provide more information.
Yeah, so the board does have in front of them a resolution to non-renew and dismiss a probationary teacher. The board recommendation is that the administrative recommendation is that the board approves that resolution.
Any discussion?
This is the normal time of the year where this comes up?
Correct.
Understood. It's just the one?
Yes.
Understood. Okay.
Okay, I will entertain a motion that the Board of Education approve the approval of resolution authorizing notice of non-renewal and dismissal of probationary teacher as presented.
So moved.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Stahlcup.
Aye.
Mr. Mankivsky.
Aye.
Mr. Kleisner.
Aye.
Mrs. Simmons.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley.
Aye.
Dr. Lawler.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. The notice of non-renewal and dismissal of probationary teacher is approved. The fourth item of new business is the approval of the minimum staffing plan for the 2026-2027 school year. Dr. Rowling, if you'd please provide more information.
Yeah, so I'm gonna fill in here for Dr. Atkins, who does this every year. So we'll see how I do. I'm sure he's watching. He'll have some notes for me in the morning. And they're getting the presentation up. But just to remind the board that this is part of the normal staffing structure. This is our minimum staffing plan. So as I go through, these are all projected numbers. We will continue to, hold on, I gotta speak into one of the microphones here. Short commercial break for everyone at home. We will continue to come to the board if we need to make adjustments to this, should we see a change in enrollment throughout the district. That is really tiny, holy cow. So on the slide here, we have general guidelines that are used in the KEA contract for class sizes. And so for our they're general guidelines, they are not hard and fast rules. But as we do our staffing, we aim to be under these numbers. So K2, we aim for 21 to 22 students per classroom, 3-5, 22 to 24. For our extended day kindergarten max would be 24. Our middle school and high school, we aim for 26. And then we look at what's called specific class composition. As we look at the staffing, we recognize it's not as simple as numbers. Sometimes you have groups that maybe have more specific needs, and so we might need to adjust the staffing levels there. So this plan also is focused in on our certified staff. We will be coming back with some support staff when that is finalized in April. That's not held to the same contractual timelines. And then as we move forward, state special ed guidelines come from obviously the state, but we also look at the Kaneland Joint Special Ed Workload Committee as we develop those special ed staffing ratios. So these numbers are based off of enrollment as of February 28th, 2026. I think that's important to recognize. These numbers may change and we may be coming back. Boy, I don't know how he reads that with that far away. FTE for all certified instructional positions increased from 371.6 in 23-24 to 380 in 24-25. And then last year, as you recall, we decreased to 356 .23 for this year. The projected increase of 2.3 FTE for next year would bring it to 358.53 FTE. The enrollment changes may not happen in areas where we have to bump them over, right? So we may see an increase in kindergarten overall, but we may have enough cushion in there to support that. Enrollments at Fox Valley kindergarten and early childhood are still tentative. Staffing is based on what we have in front of us right now. Kindergarten being kind of the most wild card of all of them. Our projected our projected enrollment for EC5 for next year is to increase by 14 students. Projected 6-8 enrollment is a decrease of 14, and projected 9-12 enrollment is a decrease of 8 for next fall. And then projected KIPLA enrollment for our middle school program is a drop of 11 students. And so then this chart just simply represents those numbers in front of us, looking at a net change of, what was that number? A net change of -4 projected for next year.
So is, Dr. Rowling, is the +8 just the outplay students, so there's 12 new outplay students?
No, that's overall, including outplay students. So there would be another, when you count in the outplay students, apparently we are, the plus 12
8.
is the total for the for the district.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
All right.
So there's 16 more students being outplaced.
Fran?
Oh, 12.
Well, I'm sorry, I'm looking at it wrong. You're right, it is 12, and then there's an overall +8 in the district, sorry.
So
an
there's-
increase of 12 students being outplaced, yes.
There's an additional 12 students being outplaced.
Projected, correct.
Yes. That just seems a little high. I don't get those numbers.
We continue to look to reevaluate those outplacements. I can get some information onto the exact situation behind
Okay.
that. We have,
We can get back to you.
yeah.
Okay.
Let me get you the exact.
I think
I'm just trying to square the -4 and
Yeah.
the +8 at the bottom. I don't really
Yeah,
understand
it's-
those numbers, but
We'll get that back. I'll get back on that. I apologize for not having that, that information. 5-year enrollment projection, if you look at the 5-year enrollment projection, currently it has us dropping 365 students over the next 10 years. This is some information that the HR subcommittee asked us to bring to them. This is a conservative projection of enrollment, and it's based on historical district data. We recognize that there are also significant home increases going on in the district. What's interesting is Dr. Bogan did a deep dive. She went into one of her rabbit holes last week, looking at construction and enrollment, spreadsheets and all the things that Dr. Bogan loves. And what we've learned is, in the last number of years, we've added over 500 homes, but continued to lose students. And so we're not seeing a lot of students coming out of these homes. That being said, we may be looking to contract with an outside demographer to really start to understand what's going on currently in the district. Obviously, we know there's significant increases in housing potential over the next couple of years, and we want to be prepared. It's important to note that right now our buildings are running at about 65%. If the board would like, I'd be happy to provide additional information via a weekly update on some of the numbers behind that, but we feel very comfortable where we are. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, your deep dive.
I know. I could say so much, and I won't. But I think that would be appropriate for the weekly update to give some of those numbers. Yeah, I think, we're really just trying to understand what housing has happened in the last 5 years and what we're anticipating, especially in our larger communities, Sugar Grove, Maple Park, Elburn, over the next 10 years, and how that projected enrollment or potential could impact all of our schools based on, the current size that they are now. So with all that being said, we do have capacity in our buildings for additional enrollment, but like Dr. Rowling said, we'll be looking even more closely at that, further into that.
Yeah, when I was looking at these numbers, I was thinking about how we should implement them into the strategic plan and make sure to think about the district's long-term health. If, this is not a bad thing at all, but just considering it when we move forward.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that might be interesting information to bring to that process. And like I said, I think we want to really dive into getting a professional organization that does this to understand what that trend might be here in Kaneland and in the kind of southern Kane County area. We spent a lot of time talking about this. It's kind of a conundrum, right? We're building houses, but
We're not getting the kids.
necessarily seeing the students as of yet. So, so here are some elementary class size averages. Now it's important to note that this is at the school level. So you may have significant differences between grades. But going into next year, the average class size at Stewart is projected to be 21.7, at Shields 21.1, at McDowell 20.3, and at Blackberry Creek 20.6. Again, that staffing at the elementary level, it's a weird division problem because you can't have a remainder, right? So adding one section can take a class, a grade from an average of 24 to an average of 18 in one fell swoop, right? So we look at it not just at the school level, but at the grade level, and again, take into account the class composition. That is a chart that's really hard to read, but basically gives a breakdown of where we're seeing increases and decreases. We are adding a section of kindergarten, for those of you that didn't bring your glasses. I definitely, so we will be adding a section of kindergarten, and we'll hit on that a little bit later. We will be seeking to add a PE teacher at the elementary level, and we'll be seeking to add an 8. That's the elementary, so we'll get to the other stuff later. So those are the 2 areas we're looking to add at the elementary level. The next slide shows the Personalized Learning Academy. So we are going to be -3 in the Personalized Learning Academy, as we've discussed. We will not be staffing the Inspire program for next year due to low enrollment. So we'll have 1 teacher less because of that drop. We will also have 1 teacher less in the pathways. That'll be covered by other staff at the middle school level. And we will be reducing 1 special ed position out of the KIPLA program. All of those teachers, however, will be offered a position in the district. Additionally, there is a KIPLA social worker that supports, so you see a 1.0 social worker. That's not a full-time social worker for the program. Those services are shared between KIPLA and Harder Middle School. So we're talking about adding, here we're talking about subtracting, and then the end will kind of land at the overall addition. At Harder Middle School, we are looking at a projected drop of 1 FTE in 6th grade with a projected add of 1 FTE in 7th grade, and the rest across the board at a net 0. And then at the high school, we will be looking to add 1 ALOP teacher, and ALOP stands for Alternative Learning Opportunity Program. This is a program designed for students to help students that would be unlikely to graduate cross that finish line. This is a program that is grant funded at the state level, but it is funded in arrears. So we will cover this program out of local funds this year. We will then be reimbursed based on enrollment for next year. So there's an initial outlay, and then money will be reimbursed going into the next fiscal year based on student enrollment. Additionally, looking for an additional 0.3 in staffing for that, for the high school. And those are fractionals. That's all based on enrollment. You'll see there is a big minus out of science, and an addition in CTE. That's us moving ag from science to the CTE department. So, sorry, Dr. Atkins was texting me. So. Just wanted to make sure I didn't miss something important. So at the end of the day, he is. He should be resting. He drove a long way through some pretty nasty weather today. Overall, we are looking for an addition of 2.3 FTE for next year, based on the information that I just provided. Differentials and stipends, these are things that happen generally outside of the school day, additional money to things that were discussed at this time. We don't believe we have the funds to advance them. Would be a KIPLA team leader position and a middle school chess team. We will continue to monitor roles and funding to see if we can fund these types of programs moving forward. And then finally, just the dollar breakdown of the additional elementary PE based on increased enrollment, primarily at Stewart and McDowell. Looking at asking for a additional ALOP teacher and some fractional changes at the high school for a total of $149,500. Questions? It's important to know we are also tracking kindergarten at Stewart. Again, kindergarten is our wild card. Stewart did have a higher than usual enrollment. Our secretaries do an amazing job over the summer, especially at the elementary schools, of keeping Dr. Atkins informed of move-ins and move-outs, so that as we move through the summer, we're able to make an adjustment if we need to. Right now, we're going to stay conservative in that staffing, but continue to watch it to make sure that that enrollment doesn't get out of control. I'm going to check my talking points from Dr. Atkins, make sure I hit them all, but I think I did well.
Give yourself a gold star.
I'll give myself a silver star. All right, any questions?
Any questions, discussion? I will entertain a motion that the Board of Education approve the minimum staffing plan for certified staff for the 2026-2027 as presented.
Second.
And a roll call, please.
Mr. Mankowski.
Aye.
Mr. Kleisner. Mrs. Simmons.
Aye.
Mr. Cook.
Aye.
Mr. McCauley. Dr. Lawler.
Aye.
Mr. Stolka.
Aye.
Motion carries 7-0. The minimum staffing plan is approved. The fifth item of new business is the construction update. Dr. Rowling, if you'd please provide more information.
I would love to. So this is our monthly update to the board based on construction resulting for the 2025 referendum. Since our last board update, we've completed the following tasks. We've made some additional decisions on finishes for issuance 3. I've seen more paint colors, flooring colors, Mondo flooring colors, so we've picked a lot of those things, making final decisions on how the field house and the stadium are going to come together. We've arranged for some sample furniture to be assembled at Kaneland High School for staff to go pick up, knock around, sit at, and we will be bringing some pilot classrooms in the near future. We've continued to work on engineering plans for the Harder campus and Kaneland High School campus. The Kaneland High School campus is apparently unique as it relates to storm water issues. Despite how flat it looks, there is apparently a break. There's a continental divide on campus, and we flow in 2 different directions. We've had some issues downstream, so the county has required us to go back and essentially remap the entire campus. We are planning, however, future forward. So as we plan our stormwater retention and detention, and stop me when I mess this up, Mark. But we are going to plan additional space so that if we ever have to add anything, we should be able to tap into that. So as we do this, we want to do it right. We want to make sure it's done. We have kind of a golden opportunity to open up the ground and do it right, and so that's the plan. So we are running a little bit behind the initial schedule, but this is all in the spirit of doing it right. That has caused us to discuss an adjusted timeline to bid issuance 3 to ensure that our documents are in the right place when we go out for bidding. It's really important that we have a good idea as to what we're bidding, that we're not kind of making big adjustments after the bids go out. And so we are opting to move that bid issuance back. However, construction will still be set to start sometime in June or July for those projects. Things that are coming up, we will be completing those bid documents for bid issuance 3. We will be securing 2 classrooms of pilot furniture that will have the whole room set up, and students and teachers can give us feedback on what that new furniture would look like. And then we are working with the Village of Sugar Grove on approval for the plans of the Transportation Center. We've done some back and forth with them. I think we're trying to find a middle ground. We have a meeting coming up later this week where hopefully we continue to make some progress. Any questions?
We should take a field trip to the pilot classroom.
I'll be happy to set that up in groups of 2.
Okay.
To avoid any OMA complaints, I'll be happy to set that up in groups of 2.
Any other questions or discussion? Right, there is no action required for the construction update. It is now time for Superintendent Board Report. Dr. Rowland, do you have anything to share?
Yes, and I will be speaking for Ms. Schroll, who was unable to be here too. So buckle up, folks. I got 2 pieces of paper. All right, so Fox Valley Students of the Month for February from Kaneland. Noah Witz in Electrical Systems 2. Colton Helpsley in Welding 2. Tyler Morong in Welding 1. Colin Swan in PC Repair. Taylor Gualdoni in Foundations of Ed 1, and Matthew Sharp in Foundations of Ed 2. So our students are doing well in Fox Valley. I'll tell you, I sat in a proposal with the electrical systems class, as did Mr. Payton, and it was pretty entertaining when we started giving them feedback, because I think they weren't ready for it. But it was great. It was fun to see them kind of work through the problems and all that. Skills USA, 23 Fox Valley students passed assessment and will be competing in Peoria in April, on April 23rd and 24th. This is including, and this is a unique one, an all-female welding team composed of students from Batavia, Kaneland, and St. Charles East. So that's great to see.
Those 3 schools are teaming up?
Well, it's a Fox Valley
Fox
class.
Valley class.
So they're coming from that welding program, but it's an all-female team that's coming together. So, additionally, congratulations to junior Angelina Gochis for capturing her 3rd individual state title in 3 years. I was able to go check out some of her matches in day 1. If you don't follow wrestling, Tech Fall is a slaughter rule. You have to be winning by 15. I think she wrestled in a lapsed 4 minutes in her first 2 matches, and Tech Fall both opponents. So really dominant downstate. It is indicative of what she's accomplished in her amazing career. She, along with all of our other winter athletes, will be recognized at our next meeting. I know that in Ms. Schroll, she mentions this too, but I'm going to take the opportunity to say it twice. So congratulations to our boys basketball team for earning 3rd place in the IHSA 3A tournament. After losing and first of all, if you didn't get the chance to check out the semi-sectional game, it was fantastic. It was down to literally the last seconds. A couple board members were around me at that time. I probably saw my blood pressure get dangerously high. But then the NIU Convocation Center was loud. It was very loud. It was raucous. It was Kaneland proud. After losing a heartbreaking overtime game by 1 point to Deerfield in the semifinals, they rallied back later that evening to defeat Leo High School by 3 to earn 3rd place. This concludes an impressive season in which the team went 36-1. The seniors, between their junior and senior year, only lost 3 games total. So that's a really impressive group of kids. A big thanks to Knights Nation, who showed out for school pride as we took over gyms throughout the IHSA playoffs. I don't think we walked into a gym throughout the playoffs that wasn't ours. Even when we played Central at Central, it was very much a Kaneland crowd. both myself and Mr. Goldman got comments from people at the IHSA tournament that you don't see crowds that big. So we rolled down to Champaign and we let everyone know who we were. That was for sure. So it was an impressive crowd, and it really speaks to who we are as a community. Additionally, Friday's semifinal game was graced by Kaylee Kunstman, a senior, who performed the national anthem in front of a huge crowd. She earned the right to perform by placing third in the ILMEA choral competition earlier this year. It was kind of a stroke of fate that she was assigned to that game. They compete to sing at the IHSA finals. She was assigned that game before we qualified for the game. So Mr. Kunstman, who's our choral director, right after that game reminded me of that, and we thought that was fantastic. And I will tell you, I don't know if you can go back and watch it, but holy cow, like she was incredible. She was, it was fantastic. So super proud of her and what she did. And then finally, state testing season is upon us. It's not as much fun as the other stuff, sorry. But 5th and 8th grade students are going to be taking the Illinois Science Assessment later this week. And then 3rd through 8th grade students will be taking the Illinois Assessment of Readiness during the week of April 6th. So please encourage students to try their hardest to show what they know. As we know, we just had a great performance out of our kids last year, and we're going to continue to hope that they perform at that level. Moving on to Ms. Schroll's statement. So the past few weeks have been the most exciting times to be at night. Last Monday evening, the boys basketball team defeated the Morton Potters 49-47 at the NIU Convocation Center. This gave them a ticket to compete at the state level, which was this past weekend, hosted at University of Illinois Champaign-Urbana in the State Farm Arena. On Tuesday, March 10th, Kaneland 302 communicated that the district would have a non-attendance day on Friday, March 13th. So, we did that. This was due to the historic boys basketball season. They had their first state semifinals appearance since 1982. The boys basketball team fell to Deerfield High School 49-47. I think it's actually 49-48. In overtime, during the state semifinals, wasn't the end of the season. They then faced the Leo High School on Friday night. The Knights defeated the Leo Lions 35-32, and Kaneland ended their season 36-1, third place in state Class 3A. Kaneland 302, this is very updated. I heard Kaneland 302 used an emergency non-attendance day due to severe weather on Monday, March 16th. You may have heard. This upcoming week, softball, girls soccer, and boys tennis are starting their competitive seasons. We'll see about some of those. Girls varsity soccer is expected to face Jefferson High School in Rockford tomorrow at 4:30 for their first game of the season. That'll be tentative, I imagine. Varsity softball and boys varsity tennis are both expected to travel to Hampshire to face non-conference games and match on Tuesday, March 17th. Again, I'd imagine somewhat up in the air on that. Boys and girls track teams continue to be successful at every meet. The girls had 3 PRs at this past weekend's meet, including 2 sprinters and a long jumper. And those are all indoor at this point. And then finally, Kaneland High School will administer the ACT and pre-ACT to freshmen, sophomores, and juniors next Tuesday and Wednesday, March 24th and 25th. Seniors will not attend school on those days. That's a short march for those kids. And then the students and staff are proud to be Knights. Happy St. Patrick's Day. That's all I got.
All right. Anything from the board?
Yeah, I listened to the game on the radio at NIU, and to back what Kurt said, the uproar. Before the commentator said anything, you knew something good for Kaneland happened because you just heard a screech from everyone before the commentator could say anything. So I was proud knowing through the audio that everyone was there. It was pretty cool.
It was an impressive turnout. Yeah.
We sold almost 300 student tickets to that event only.
Super sectional.
Yeah.
Anything else on the board? All right. Any topics for future agendas? right. It is now time for the second round of public comment. Seeing none. Right, yeah, well, we were scheduled for a closed session to discuss Open Meetings Act, Section 2, Sub C, Sub 11, and then 2, Sub C, Sub 1, and that has been canceled, so we will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? I have it, ayes have it, the motion is adopted.